Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what is going on, guys? Did you guys fill up your dip card? I know I did. This has been a great buying opportunity, not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Just saying. So, yo, what is going on, everybody? We got Techman in the house. We got Alex Pariah. Yo, gonna do stuff and things, and of course, my home doge, Crypto Mikkel. What up, what up? So, I have, from Fox Protocol Mining, a P104-100 EVGA that has stopped hashing. He did pull it apart. I mean, as you can see, he's got the fan header unplugged. This is kind of how he sent it to me. No I/O shield. And you can tell this is one of the mining specific cards, as there are no video display outputs on this. Yo. So we're going to do a little deep dive on this thing. I was going to do a video on this last week, but I wanted to do some research on the PCB itself. This way I have more of an understanding of what I am looking at. First thing, let's go ahead and dig right on in, guys. Also, don't forget to smash that Lizzy like button. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. Helps me out. Hit the bell notification button all down there, guys. Yo! Helps me out. All right, so let's go ahead and get a little deep dive on all this awesomeness. All right, so here is the back side of it, and let me see if I can get this into a better focus. Let's see here. All right, so I've got my Canon Rebel T7 doing a top-down view on this. I've got my my telescopic lens on there so that I can get a really close look at the PCB on here. So let's go ahead and just start taking a look at this. All right, so if you notice here right by these corners here, which would be the end of the card, this would be the beginning of the card where it bolts onto the back of your PC, or it's got the rear I/O shield on there. But if you notice that these little tabs, let me see how close I can get with this. Let me get this over here more into view. If you see the corners, they're kind of clipped, it looks like. This shows that this is a reference PCB, guys. So this thing is basically EVGA's FE edition. So the first thing that we're going to do before we even crack this thing apart, of course, always try to see if you can see anything obvious. The less that I can use my brain whenever I'm doing diagnostic work, the better. So we're going to look at everything eyes first. This way we know we can basically start troubleshooting this in brain off mode. Let me see if I can get a little closer. Ooh, that is really close, really tight. Let me back it up just a little bit here. All right, so I'm nice and zoomed in now. The first thing that we're going to do is right up on here. On the PCIe, let me grab my multimeter that's on the floor here next to me. All right, so I'm going to put this into ohms mode. So whenever I touch these two together, we get a bell. So basically any of the screws, or if you got the screws removed, this copper pad at the bottom is a ground, guys. So the first, I'm gonna flip this thing over. All right, so the first 3 pins on the front section here is 12-volt rail. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna test to see if the 12-volt rail is shorted to ground. So you can actually touch any one of these pins. And as you see, we are not shorted to ground. Then you want to check the 3.3 rail. So that one is 4 pins in from the notch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We are not shorted. The 5th one over is ground. All right, so we know we don't have a short from here. So now we can kind of go on into the interior of this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look around and see if we can see any kind of blown components on here. That's always step one. Let me see if I can tighten this up really tight here. And focus. Perfect. All right, so sorry if it's a little grainy. I do not have a microscope yet. I'm looking into that, but as of right now, not yet. All right, so we're going to start. Let me get this out of my way. All the way at the edge here. So this is where the I/O would go. So we're going to take a look and see if we can see any blown components on the back of this. Anything that's like just kind of obvious, standing out here. Get this stuff out of my way. All right. So nothing here that's obviously blown. So let's work our way over here. All right. Product stickers and such. Over here. And I do not see anything as of yet. The wrong way. Right here. Oh, and you can tell he has been in here. All right, and we're about halfway through the board now. I do not see anything. Got like the sweat stains on the board, of course. All right, nothing here. Now we're at the edge of the board. Now you can see right here, see what that little corner tab, how it's cut like that? That's how you can tell it's an FE edition. All your 10 series, especially for EVGA, this is how you can tell the Founders Edition's PCB style. And so we got, doesn't look like we got any holes in the backside of the PCB. Everything looks good on the backside, guys. So now, I can back it up a little bit. And I'm going to have to take off these 4 spring screws here will release the cooler and the fan shroud assembly all in one. So let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so let's catch up on some of this chat here. I had to sell it to the neighbor, Kid RY. I had 2 of those. Nice. Yeah, even broken ones of these, they're wanting like $300-400 and it's broken. They won't even show the inside. Now, when we open this up, whenever I open this up for you guys, I'm going to do some explaining around on things and things you want to look out for on the 10 series. So this will go towards the 1080, 1080 Ti, 1070, and 1070 Ti. They all kind of have, the 10 series all kind of have the same issues with each other. So, all right. So, TechMane's like, I'm betting on the fan controller. Maybe we'll see. But the fan controller, you would still see it pop up, and it should still mine, even if the fan controller's blown on it. So it shouldn't stop it from seeing it in Device Manager, and it is. I'm not powering this thing up just because of what I had seen on the inside. That Vox Protocol had shown me some pictures, and I did some research on it. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about before I cracked this bad boy open. So let's go ahead and take off these 4 screws here to release the cooler off. And here's my screwdriver. This is like a number 1 Phillips. Yes and no. All right, so now I've got the cooler off. We're good to go there. Put that over here. And the first thing I would like to do is just to kind of verify that we do not have a crack in the die at all. That's actually another common issue, is a cracked die, and you will never notice it right off the bat. Let's see here. Alright, so let's zoom in on the die here. And do I have a little flashlight here? Oh, sweet, I do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flashlight right here and I'm going to shine it kind of across and see if I can see anything that might look like a hair. What I'm doing now is I'm like looking for a crack of any sort. So I do not have any crack of any sort on there on the die itself, so it looks like the VGA core should technically still be good. One thing I do see, that doesn't look right. Right there. That right there is the beginning of the problems. So I'm going to have to take off this black shroud right here, and so that I can expose the PCB a little bit more. But so far, this is not looking good. So some of these are inductor rails. This is all in an inductor rail, and then you've got the MOSFETs right over here that are underneath this black piece here. So these are for the VGA core itself, and then this is for, of course, as TechMan would like to point out, this is for the memory. So this is the inductor that powers up the memory rail. So this is already not looking very good. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take off the rest of these little screws here, so that I can expose the PCB a little bit more. And how are all of you awesome people doing out there? What's up, Golden Wolf? Flux capacitors. This is not Back to the Future. Man, these things have got a ton of screws for this realistically unnecessary plate that I'm taking off, that they should have just put onto the back side and not the front side. And I'll get into why my thoughts are on that this plate should be on the back side and not the fronts. And then we're going to get into what you're going to look for whenever you're trying to buy one of these cards and you're like, well, I can fix it to a point. One more screw. God, these things got like a bazillion screws. Good God. One more. Alright. I believe that was everything. Cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop this bad boy off. And then you can see that they got thermal pads in between here. But then when you come up on the other side, they got nothing touching the cooler, guys. So these like heat inductors and everything are just sitting there cooking away, guys. I mean, you got to think about it. So the memory is right here. Nothing touching the cooler, right? Actually, it would be on. Oh, like this, right? Or Wait a minute here. It's like this. Okay. So we've got nothing like sitting here touching the memory over here. Nothing touching the memory here. We got a little bit over here. We've got nothing touching the power rail here. Nothing over here. Even though on the back side, we got cooling pads back here. But we're not transferring the heat anywhere. It's just staying right here, cooking everything. So this is actually a very common problem. Whenever I get these cards, I like to pull them apart, at least to put the some thermal pads up here and over here so that I'm transferring heat into the cooler properly. Even getting some pads down up on here to get the memory modules here to start wicking heat away, guys. So let's go ahead and start diving into this a little bit more. So as we could tell, this inductor, I wonder if I can take it off. It's so loose, I can actually wiggle it on the board. I don't want to pull it because I'm afraid that if I pull it, it's gonna take the pads up with it. So basically what ends up happening is that once this dies, for whatever reason, it likes to do this. I usually see this happening whenever people have 4 of these hooked up to like a 1,000-watt power supply unit. It usually burns out something on one of the 4 cards that are hooked up to it. So that's basically what happened here. We know that we've got a short basically on the memory rail. So unfortunately, this card is fucking kaputs. There is no, I don't think there's any real saving it. So basically, let me get it up to here. This here is the memory controller right here, okay? And allow me to zoom in on this really good, guys. I'm going to give you guys a really kind of cool picture of this. Okay, so this is the memory inductor. This is the memory control module, okay? This is basically in control of sending the voltage, but not 12 volts over. So it'd be like maybe 900, 1,000 millivolts coming through here. So when this thing died, it basically sent 12 volts here, and then sent 12 volts here to these inductors. There was 4 small inductors right here. So it sent 12 volts here, which blew these out, which in turns sends 12 volts to the memory modules. So these memory modules basically just got exposed to 12 volts. I would rather see 12 volts go to the core than to the memory module. I will try to see if I can resurrect this. Now, I don't have the parts. I had to do some research on it. So this is an R33 inductor. I do not have any. I'll have to order one up. And then I will get the little inductors that went here. So these inductors down here acted more like a filter. So unfortunately, the memory rail might be absolutely trashed. So the first thing that I normally would do is like checking shorts and stuff like that. And since we already know we have a short, so we got no short on the 12 rail, and I don't have any afterwards. This here is the 1.8 rail. Nope. And no. There you know. Okay. All right, cool. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're not shorted here. We're not shorted there. This is the muck. Let's see if we're shorted here. And we are shorted here also. So we have a short on this here. This is absolutely needed to basically start turning on the inductor. So this feeds part of the control modules here. So basically with this being shorted, now I'm going to suspect that if I take off this and knock these off, our short will probably be gone. And I think that's what I'm going to do, and I did not bring out my soldering iron. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, pulling out the Hacko, my micro soldering iron. Let me get a little table set up. All right, so now that I got a little table set up next to me, I can pull the Hacko out. All right, so there's that. Power cable. And what's going on, Math Wizzy? All right, I do like that tip. Put that in there. Plug you in. Plug you in to I'm in D. So you get the D. Turn that on. Let my soldering iron heat up here. I'm using a little knife blade, gets right into the inductor area really nicely. Waiting for the tip to heat up now. We're going to start with knocking that off. So my tip is up to temp. I don't want to have to take my other one. Hold on here, I need a pair of tweezers that I don't have next to me. What did I do with my tweezers? I put them over here? Oh, totally not prepared today. Huh? No. Don't have what I'm looking for. This done. A little bigger than I want it to be, but here we go. Alright, so I just broke it off the rest of the way. Thankfully it didn't pull the pad off with it and allow me to get some leaded solder so I can actually clean the pad up a little bit here. And why do I add leaded solder, guys? It's because what they put on here is unleaded, which has a higher melt point. Right, now I can take my wick and wick it off. Right now. Alright, so let's see, since I knocked that off, let's see if I've still got a short on my muck rail. Oh yeah, both sides. Oh yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna knock off those other pieces because I'm sure they're shorting too. So let's go ahead and get, oh, that's too high, there we go. Stuff things. Techman, just because you set your P104 at 104 watts does not mean that that's where it stays. So the P104's max is 150 watts off the 8 pin, and then an additional 75 watts from the PCIe. For a grand total of 225 watts. You put 4 of those onto a 1,000 watt power supply and fucking disaster. Come on. There. Come on, blow you guys off the fucking board. Come on. Oh yeah, he fucking burned the board too. Woo, this is a good one. Let's see if I can get that last one off. There we go. Last one off. And let's see about cleaning it up a little bit here. Alright. Let that cool lift down just a second here. Wire cutters, not here. Go. Got my wire cutters. All right. Clip. So should not be technically shorting. Let's see how bad this is. We are still shorted. Nice. See, we're not shorted on the other side of this. So we're shorted on this side, but not the other side. So that's progress. So we're not shorted through here. So we got another issue going on then. All right, here. So we're going to take a look at our other 12-volt rail. And we are shorted in our 12-volt rail still, too. Now, I'm going to sit here and say that we're not just shorted through the memory control here. I bet you we are shorted coming into the inductor area. So, with that, I almost want to sit here. Let's see here. Let's see. Come on. We should be on auto. Okay, so what I'm trying to do right now is I'm taking a look at the, so I bet you I need to take this piece off because this MOSFET is gone. You can see the solder ball sitting right here. That's usually a sign that that kind of did its thing. So I bet you that's shorting the whole system right now, which means I need flux and... Do I have my flux out here anywhere? There's my flux. Back there. Got it. Got my Amtech flux. Because we're going to have to take this off. Alright. I'm going to go get my hot air station real quick. I wish I knew where my tweezers were. I found my tweezers too. Yes. Sweet. I got my tweezers. All right here. Let me unbox this real quick. Right. Review over. Review here. I wasn't sure how far I was going to get into this, guys. Sorry. Power, bleep, and I want my small little nozzle. Alright, so got my tip on there. Let's pull up my, I want these ones. Yeah. Alright. Let's turn the air down a little bit here. So I'm not blowing everything across. Doesn't need it that hot either. That. Okay, down there like this. Alright. Ooh, that's still too much air. Burn the shit out of himself. Ooh. That hurt a little bit. Oh, that's gonna be a blister. Oh, that sucked. I accidentally just touched towards the tip, not onto the tip, just a little bit. I was like, whoo, that got me a little bit here. Hold on. Figures. Because I'm trying to work things around a little bit. Alright, here we go. And there's my tweezers. Come on. Too much. Go down a little bit. We're going to do like that. This thing could be soldered to the board for all I mean, like, fucking melted to the board. Let's get some more flux on that. These boards take a lot of heat. Oh yeah, I think this thing is welded to the board. Alright, let's see, solder. Come on. Oh, wow. This thing does not want to come off the board. See if how much flux I can put on you. Make it come out. Go. Full heat. There we go. Wow. Well, we didn't break any pads. That's a good sign. That is a good sign. There are no broken pads here. Alright, so I'm going to wick off some stuff off of it. I'm going to try to see if I can get the short to go away. That's my goal, is to get the short to go away. Alright. Get some more solder out and come on. Alright. Cut that off. Alright. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna get some. Let me get a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol. Now I'm using 91% isopropyl alcohol to clean up the flux off of this. Now let's see if our short's going. Right. No more short to ground. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh yeah, we still got a short here. Okay, so we're on that side of it. So I bet you one of these other MOSFETs is bad. Right along with this. Let's check my 12 volt. Yep. Alright, so I can take the inductors off until the short goes away, and that'll tell me which one of these MOSFETs is still bad. Okay, so my 12 volt rail is not shorted, so that's a good sign. All right, here. So everything that I'm seeing shorted is in the inductor rail here, so I bet you I gotta take off more inductors. So we're gonna do this until I'm going exploratory, guys. So I'm going to start taking off inductors here. All right, and I'll grab a different pair of needle nose. Yeah, these work really nicely. Might need a bigger tip on there. Well, let's see here. Which tip would I think is the better one? Yeah, there we go. I'll put the big ones on. Let you finish cooling down here for a second. With these quick hot air stations, you always want to let your heater coil cool down all the way before you do anything. Otherwise, you're going to burn out the heater element inside of it. So I'm just sitting here waiting. Give me 1 second, guys. 300. Come on, get under. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Bigger tip on. Move that down. That's one. All right, now let's see if the short's gone. Yep, and short's still there. So that one's good, so we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to find out which one of these inductor rails is freaking shorted here. So that's number 2. All right. Yep. Still shorted. Next. Check that again. Oh yeah. I'm having a suspicion that the GPU might be shorted. This isn't too promising. This thing might be 100% bona fide dead. Oh yeah. I mean, the only other thing I can do is just start taking off the fucking the MOSFETs here and see if one of the MOSFETs are still damaged. I'm gonna take stuff off until I know. It's like I know it's in this rail here. So we're gonna see which one is my culprit here now. One's off. All right. Okay. Okay. Next one. Oh, yeah, sure, Golden Wolf. So, this one here, let me get get my face cam. So this is a hot air station. So basically it's warming up the PCB plus the component to get the solder underneath the component to heat up too. And then this is Amtech Flux. This helps to basically get the heat into the solder and gets the solder to turn into more of molten a little bit better. And then I've got a pair of tweezers here that I'm just grabbing the components with and just pulling them off the board. I'm trying to see, pulling the component off one at a time, where my short actually is. I'm thinking it's in the VGA chip itself, but I could be wrong. There we go. And as you can see, I've got all the inductors off, and I am one at a time pulling off the MOSFETs here until the short hopefully goes away, because I think it's in the power rail, I believe. Ooh, that's the little one. And then I'm checking resistance to ground on that. That's why you're hearing the beep. If it's beeping because the VGA core is shorted, then all of this was more of just a learning curve versus a repair. This is just me getting used to doing a GPU, I guess. Can never have enough flux on everything, guys. Flux is your friend. So this is a quick 861 DW hot air station. I actually got this one from LewisRothman.com. Okay, yep, a little bit more. There we go. Alright, so I'm not shorted going that way, but I am on the other side, which means that hopefully one of these other ones are the problem child here. Perfect. Your dog's loving the beep. Oh, we got one left. And then I'm condemning this thing. Dun dun dun. Go. Alright, doesn't look like anything is shorting out. Oh, whoa, look at this. Let me see if I can get it in the view real quick here. So, guys, if you see right where my tweezers are pointing, that's a solder ball. So one of these released a solder ball right here. So hopefully, we just eliminated the short. I'm hoping. If not, the core is done. Nope. We have a shorted GPU. This is a no fix. Yep. 12 volt rail is shorted to ground. My 1.8 volts shorted to ground. My mux is shorted to ground. That all of those components have one thing in common, and that's the VGA core itself, guys. So unfortunately, this be a no fix condition. Unfortunately, guys. So unfortunately, guys, I've removed anything that would have been sending any kind of power through the board. Yeah, this thing is basically, there's the memory control. So what ends up happening on these cards? So when that rail popped, it sent 12 volts to the memory controller on the core, right? And at the same time, it sent 12 volts over here, which sent 12 volts back to the memory control, to the memory modules themselves. And then from there, it sent the 12 volts to the core. So basically, the core has a direct route to ground. And it's more than likely through the memory modules. I could probably pull up the memory modules and the short will probably go away. I don't want to waste my time pulling off memory modules when I know that's not the issue. I think the issue now at this point is just that the VGA core is shorted directly to ground through the power rails, through the memory modules, and then God knows if it burned anything in the board itself, where any of the PCB layers are now connected from that quick little short that it did do. I mean, in order to burn a module, an inductor to the point where it looks like you took a blowtorch to it and actually torched the lettering off on this. This thing should have say R33 on it, and it says absolutely nothing, guys. So unfortunately, this is a no fix condition. I will have to let Fox Protocol Mining know that this thing is absolutely dead. And if he wants it back, I'll send it back to him. If he says just junk it, what I'll end up doing is I'll put this off to the side, because there are some good modules still on here. So I can use this as a parts bin now. Unfortunately, I want to see something. I want to see something because I can't see a crack on it. But I want to see if the die has got any kind of bluing to it. Okay, there's just some dirt on the core. I don't see any staining on it or anything, so that's a shame. That is a shame. So this was made in 2018 on the second month, or I'm sorry, the second week of 2018 this was produced. So unfortunately these cards also don't really carry a warranty of any sort because it's a mining specific card. So unfortunately guys, this is a dead mining card. But maybe Fox Mining Protocol will let me keep this, and then I'll have some good components to be able to harvest off of this, knowing that the VGA core memory modules are dead. But like the inductors, capacitors, resistors, they are still good on here. Some of the hard parts like that, as long as it doesn't look like there's physical damage on it, I would say that they are fine. But yeah, anything that was on the memory controller line, I will not be using. Anything else, I think is fair game. So, you guys got any questions for me before I head up out of here, guys? Any kind of questions whatsoever? Turn that off. Turn that off. Anybody got any kind of questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna head up out of here. And guys, don't forget to smash that Lizzy like button if you're new here. Of course, subscribe, hit the bell notification, share this video with somebody that you think might be beneficial to. Always helps me out and all that good stuff. Aha! Jason Osborne with the question of the day. There's blood in the streets, so depending on how you want to look at it, this feels more like a big market. It's either a market top blow off, where it's doing a 30-40% correction on its way up still. It kind of depends on what charts you want to go with. So if you go with the stop the flow charts and the it's pretty much more to stop the flow charts on there, or if you overlay it with the old Bitcoin run up, we're kind of mirroring stuff a little bit. Or if you look at the Weimar chart, it looks like it just got manipulated down. Like somebody's sitting there playing big arbitrage on all of this. Hard to say what's going on. I don't sit there and say, hey, sell guys, get out of it, watch yourself. I bought the dip. I tossed a couple of bucks at the dip. I'm happy. I filled up my dip card, so it's pretty much you got to do a risk assessment. So the market is falling. Are we going to drop down to 20K? Are we going to drop down to... Like the way I look at it is if we break through 29K and close at 29K, we're probably going to correct down to probably about right around anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 Bitcoin. Well, the nice hack says that they weren't hacked. It was, yeah, they were hacked. So you can either take them at face value and say nice hash got hacked and they had some fail safes set in place to stop the funds from coming off their network. That's potential one. And if that's true, I give them a round of applause for that, because that means that they've got good security in place to stop something stupid, but they haven't fixed the root cause of the original problem whenever they got hacked. That's problem one. Or you can sit there and look at it from the other side of things and go, all right, it's kind of coincidental that you closed down withdrawals at the same time the market dropped. So was NiceHash leveraged up on an exchange trying to play with everybody's crypto and they just got liquidated? I don't know. It's suspect to me. But that's my thought pattern on that, is either they got hacked and they've got security issues then, and it's a good reason why you should never use their platform, or they got arbitraged out of it, and you should still never use their platform. Fuck NiceHash. I don't, as you can see, I don't like them. They're a horrible service. It's like if you're wanting to get paid in Bitcoin, you want a daily payout from Bitcoin, yeah, you can use them, and they're going to take a cut because, they've got to be profitable. So they're making profit off the people who are renting the hardware, and they're making money off of your hardware. In my personal opinion, I avoid something like that because I do not want to pay them a cut of the crypto that I have. 1%, 0.5%, that stuff adds up at the end of the year, especially if you're, a small scale. Here you are, give or take, sitting there, you might get a payout once a month, let's say, through a normal method of mining. Would you take a month's worth of payouts all in one at the end of the month, knowing that you would earn an additional 1%? So by the end of the year, you are earning an additional 12% crypto over what you would mining through NiceHash. So I have my issues with any of these rental programs, but yeah. Jason, like, 100% agree. Nice hack is garbage. Yes. Yes. So that's kind of my two satoshis on the whole NiceHash incident. They either got hacked again, which they're a security risk then, or they got leveraged out. Hard to say. One will never know, unfortunately. So with that being said, anybody else got any other questions before I slide up out of here? All right. And I got somebody who would like to come on by now that I'm like almost wrapping up over here. I don't know. They're claiming number 2 now. So is it 2 or 3? 2 or 3 before they're like, we need to revamp everything. So yeah, they have their issues. I don't recommend using them. Stay away from NiceHash. Stay away from CUDA Miner. Stay away from them all. I hate any of the renting platforms. It's garbage. They're profiting. They're profiteers profiting off of you because they don't think that you're smart enough to figure out how to set up a miner on your own. Guys, if you're using NiceHash, please hop into the Discord link down below. Hit me up in there. I will help you get on board with mining to a pool outside of NiceHack, outside of CUDA Miner, outside of all of those systems. I do not like those systems in any way, shape, or form, guys. I don't like F2 Pool. F2 Pool thinks miners are retards. I do not like, and F2 Pool is pro EIP 1559. They have no issues with EIP 1559. So whenever Ethereum becomes less profitable, F2 Pool was one of the champions for it. I'm just saying. And pro hashing is the same thing. So you're basically with all these like NiceHash, CUDA Miner, all of them, okay, Honey Miner, whatever. They're taking the mining software that I'm running on my Windows, that I'm running in Linux, and having it in a nice neat little package. And for that neat little package that they give you, they're taking an additional cut. I'm just saying, I'm a little bit more profitable than NiceHack. I'm a lot more profitable than a lot of these services like that. So I can sit there and, yeah, I'd rather earn an additional 12% a year than pay it out to any one of these other services, because I can get a payout once a week, or I can get a payout once a month. I would rather sit there and mine the nano pool for 3 months waiting for a payout for one graphics card versus going on to NiceHack, CUDA Miner, Honey Miner, any one of them. But that's me. I would rather just mine the coin directly. I can exchange it myself. I don't need help from those services to exchange my stuff to Bitcoin. I'm very capable of doing that myself, and I'm gonna get charged a whole lot less in the process. NiceHash, after everything is said and done, mining software, mining pool, their fees, everything, you're down for a small little itty bitty miner. You're 9% in the hole. CUDA Miner, same thing. They're, I think for the small one rig miner, I think they charge like 8.5% altogether on you. And they're gonna sit there and take a big fucking farm, and they're gonna charge them 1, 2, whatever, 2, 3%. Bullshit. So anybody else got any other questions? Because I think I'm gonna get out of here. Burn the shit out of my fucking pinky finger, because I got like a little close to like the ring right here. To like, I'm like, oh, got me. Because I didn't have everything angled, and it rolled in my hand a little bit, and I was like, oh. Nice little burn. I don't even think you can see that. Yep. I burned the shit out of myself. Right in the crook of the finger, too. I'm not going to feel that for a while. Damn it. Damn it to hell. Alright, since there's no other questions, guys, definitely smash that lizzity like button as I'm sliding up out of here. And then hit the little bell notification, all that good stuff. Make sure you're a subscriber here, all that awesomeness. And like always, I'll definitely see you all on the next one. Yo.